Hello and welcome to Talking Live. I'm Dr. Robi Ludwig, and you all remember The Sopranos. It is one of the most popular TV shows of all time. And now, in honor of all of their superior fans that they have out there, they are throwing something called the Sopranos Con. We're going to find out all about it. We're going to have a link so you can attend it. They're also filming a documentary as we are shooting this show. So I'm going to introduce you to these good-looking guys that I have sitting next to me. Federico Castelluccio was one of the stars of The Sopranos. We're going to talk to him about his role and how he got casted for the show and some of his work as an artist. We have Michael Moda, who is in charge of coordinating Sopranos Con, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's your idea? It was
the three of our ideas,
okay,
yeah. It's
okay.
more. I handle
You're
more
very
of the marketing. Yeah. I handle more of the marketing aspect of
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Actually, the third person is not here.
Yeah.
Yes, is Joe Fama.
Okay.
Which is not, yeah.
Okay, and Daniel Trader over there, who is in charge of social media, and this is a very social media driven event.
That's how it all started.
Yes.
All the momentum started there.
And what I like about this event is that it's started by the fans for the fans.
That's right.
And that is something that is really, really unique.
Yeah, that's our tagline. You know,
Yeah.
for the fans, by the fans. We have three fans that came together. All different parts of the country. So I'm from Rhode Island.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, who's actually working right now on building the sets, that's why he's not with us. He's from Long Island. And then Dan's from Baltimore, Maryland. So we all came together with all one passion, which is the love that we have for Sopranos. And we all bring a different skill set to the table. I handle more of the marketing and the cast and negotiation contracts. Dan handles more of the social media. So he could tell you more about that, but he was curating this social media group that are Soprano-focused fans for over 10 years before I even met him. So this event technically was getting set up for us 10 years ago.
Did social media exist when you were starring in The Sopranos?
No, not really.
Not really, because it started in 1999, right?
Yeah, it's,
It was
yeah,
like in the
beginning
late
of it, yeah.
90s, and it went for 6 seasons, is that correct?
Yes, that's right. Well, 7 seasons.
7
It
seasons?
was. They say 6.5.
Okay.
HBO will say 6.5.
Uh-huh.
The actors will say 7.
I love when you talk about how you got included in the show, that basically it was a little bit challenging when you were auditioning. They kind of gave you a tough time.
Well, yeah, only because it was pretty much at the height of its popularity.
Yeah.
I mean, that first season just blew up. And so every actor in the United States, probably overseas as well, wanted to be on this show. So the first time I auditioned for another role was the New York Boss. I knew I wasn't right for it. I even told my manager, I said, my agent at the time, Bob Barry, I said, what are you sending me up for this? I mean, this is a John Gotti type. I was 34 at the time. And I'm like, you needed somebody older. They wind up getting a guy by the name of Vince Curatola, phenomenal actor. He was so perfect for that role. And then about 6 to 8 months later, after bugging my agent almost every week, finally he says, listen, there's a role. It's slated as Furio, Tony Soprano's cousin. It was, and that they took that out and made it. Later on, you find out that the Italian female boss, they're Furio and she are cousins. Rather than, they kind of changed that from the original slate.
So you audition and you present this beautiful Italian accent, so much so that people really thought you spoke Italian as your first language.
That's true. Well, I'm actually Italian. I was born in Naples, Italy, and came here as a child, with my family. And I grew up in Paterson, New Jersey, in real kind of Italian neighborhood, 21st Avenue, which was, they had social clubs all up and down the street. So a lot of these sort of mob types, were in and out of these clubs. So as a very visual person, as a painter and a visual person, I would absorb all of these things and later on assimilate into the characters that I was creating.
You tell a funny story during one of your interviews where Edie Falco, I guess she was getting her makeup done, and you were talking.
Well,
and
no. Here's the thing. When I came in to do the first read through, everyone sits around the table, and everyone is there. David Chase, all of the producers, all of the actors that are in that episode, and everybody is reading their part. So when it came to my role, I just said it with the accent. I said, Federico Castelluccio, Furio Giunta. And then it went into, every time I spoke, it was either in Italian or with a dialect. And so I got up, and some people that didn't know me thought I really spoke that way. So that a couple of days later, I went into the makeup trailer, and I said hi to Edie, I said hi to everyone. She's getting her makeup done, and I see her looking at me like this. And I sit down and I say hello to the guy who's going to do my hair and makeup, and I still see her staring at me. She goes, "What happened to your accent?" And I'm like, ah. And then the guy doing my hair said, "It's called acting, dear." But anyway, that's the funny part. It's like I'm just doing my work and I'm not thinking about what people are.
Are you flattered that actually you had to work on rebranding yourself after the show because your accent was so on point?
Yes.
That you had to convince people that you were really American?
That's true. I had to go out to Hollywood and kind of undo the
Right.
accent thing. So, because now that people know your work, especially in the industry, you go out and they will say a role comes in and say, "Oh man, this guy would be perfect for it," but he's got an Italian accent, so they toss you aside.
Yeah.
And so I had to go out there and undo that, meet everybody, and show that I really don't speak that way.
Were you complimented, or did
Very
you?
much so.
Oh, yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah.
It was great because you're walking into, say, an audition or an agent's office or a manager's office, and they know your work already. That's the greatest feeling of all.
When I was doing a little reading about you, really your first love and how you experienced yourself is as an artist. And you are a fine artist, correct?
Yes.
We have some of your work.
Do you?
Yeah, we do.
Oh,
We
cool.
have some of your work, and we will put it up there. There we go. It's absolutely stunning.
That is a painting of James Gandolfini and Edie Falco.
Oh, wow.
And it's sort of modeled after a very famous Renaissance painting by Piero della Francesca. And he was a very important painter, Northern Italian. And after I shot the second time in Italy, I decided to take a few weeks and just visit different places. And it was around the time that my character sort of breaks up, James and Carmela. Tony and Carmela. So I was out there and I see the painting I've been looking at for years in history books, and it's in the Uffizi. I'm in the museum and I'm looking at it, and just a fleeting thought kind of came across. I was like, wow, that would be cool to put James Gandolfini and Edie Falco there with this kind of line. There was two separate panels, so that the frame was kind of separating them, and they were kind of looking at each other, but had this 1,000-yard stare, kind of looking past each other. And it really, to me, it felt like the fourth season, of what was going on in the fourth season in The Sopranos. So I get on the flight to go back home. I check my messages, and TV Guide had reached out to me, asking me to do a portrait of the cast, paintings of the cast. And I said, this will take too long with my style. It's very, very detailed work. And I said, but I have an idea. And I pitched this idea to them, and they loved it. They did a feature article on it.
How great. And also, you sell your artwork. You
That's right.
have a gallery in Red Bank, New Jersey?
Yes, there's a small gallery that sells, that's been kind of working with me and selling my work. They mainly deal with European painters. Since I have a dual citizenship,
Yeah.
I guess I could consider myself European as well.
There you go.
Is your artwork worth more now because of your status and fame as an actor?
In the art world, it really doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
If you're an actor or whatever, it's really about the work. It's really about your paintings and the quality and so it's that doesn't really matter.
And I just think I think everyone should know that you got a full scholarship to college based on your art, right?
That's true. Right out of high school. right out of
That's
high school.
impressive.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
your parents must have been very happy.
Well, I remember being in high school and getting the news, and just couldn't wait to run home and tell my folks that, that I had gotten that scholarship. Yeah.
I know one of the things that really drew me to the show, The Sopranos, is I love that the boss was seeing a psychiatrist, as
Right.
a therapist.
As a therapist, yeah.
And I would have so many patients come in, and they would expect me to be like Dr. Malfi, right? That's how she is.
Dr. Malfi.
Malfi,
yeah. That's right.
And I was like, they're like, why aren't you like her? It's like, because I'm like me, And it was just so funny. Like, I think for the first time, a lot of people just were more open to the idea of therapy because a tough mob guy or, played a tough mob boss, was dealing with his anxiety and relationship issues and guilt. What do you think made The Sopranos so popular as a fan?
Well, I think there's a little bit of all of that. So, we were talking about this the other day, James Gandolfini, who played an unbelievable role, Tony Soprano, even the love that he had for his children, and especially dads, and it was touching when AJ, his son, there's a part that he's sitting on a diving board, and he tries to commit suicide, and he jumps into the water. And obviously Tony comes out. I forget what he's eating. What's he eating?
He's eating a Lincoln Log sandwich.
That is
I
a
love
Lincoln
that
Log
you know
sandwich.
that.
Yeah. He's eating a Lincoln Log. Yeah.
That's a true fan. Right?
So he throws the Lincoln Log, and it's just so awesome how everything's done. And he jumps in the water, and of course AJ, as everyone knows, always screws everything up anyway. So he botched the suicidal attempt there, and they grab the cinder block, and he comes out, and Tony's so mad at him, and he wants to just shake him, but then eventually he realizes that this is his child, and he's internalizing what did he do wrong to let that happen. I think there's so many of that stuff, those kinds of scenes that happen, that it just makes you feel like that stuff could be, other than the mob stuff, could be your life, and then Tony's just a normal guy, he's the boss.
That's why I feel that the Melfi scenes were very important. A lot of people said, "Oh, it's boring," but it wasn't. It gave you more information about Tony Soprano and his psychological state.
The dream interpretations.
Exactly.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. So you take away the mob stuff, it's kind of ancillary to the actual story. There's no real grand dilemma being solved over the course of a season. Everything is very ubiquitous, the way life is, like you said.
Yeah.
I was just biased. I mean, of course, I love the therapy scenes, but I have to say, as a therapist, sometimes when you see a therapist depicted in a movie, it's not accurate.
Right.
And I really felt that they got it right. Her questioning, the challenges she had, the fact that she went to her own psychiatrist, which very often therapists will go to therapy, of course. We believe in what we do. So I just thought that it was really brilliant. And the characters were also multi-dimensional. Sometimes in shows that are not well done, character development or character depiction is too black and white. This was multi-layer. Did you feel that as an actor? Did you feel
Absolutely.
like you had...
With every script that we read. We couldn't wait to read the scripts because it was sort of like a roller coaster. You're just dying laughing in certain scenes, and then all of a sudden it's dead serious, and you're like, wow, almost at the edge of tears. It was really amazing. I always couldn't wait to read through those. And then, of course, you're always wondering, you're going to get clipped.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
that was an induction of reality.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
imagine
yeah.
if you're in the
It's a
mob,
mob show,
you probably always wonder if you're going to get killed.
Yeah.
I mean, he went from beating somebody up with a baseball bat to talking about the smell of olives and being
Exactly.
emotional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very wide range there.
Well, I think the cast itself, why the show is the best show in history, is that when they casted these cast members, they were so diverse, and as someone watching it, you could pick somebody that was more like you or had the same baggage as you. You could look at Tony Soprano and say, not me personally, but his mom which was David's Chase, they say was
Modeled
after
after
David
Chase.
Chase's mother.
Yeah.
You can see that some people have that kind of issue where all their life they're trying to make their mother feel better and love them more. So I think you could just every episode is just more and more you're diving deeper into the character.
And do you think what also made it so compelling is that also these people, or some of them, were murderers? You know, and
I mean,
like
they're the sociopaths.
and-
Yeah.
Basically,
Right.
you know, it's like, you know, the 1 minute they're murdering, then next minute they're going to see their children in a play. You know what I mean?
What's really interesting about sociopathy is there are the sociopaths where no one matters, right? Where they kill off their own kids. And then there are the sociopaths that are very loyal to their family members
Right.
and nobody else.
Yeah.
So that's obviously where the mob comes in.
Yeah.
They're the sociopaths that are loyal to their family.
And the nice thing is they didn't glorify it. You know, again, we could go on and on and on about
Yeah.
this show, but one of the things is it didn't glorify the mob. I mean, if you right at the beginning, Tony says, you know, I think I came in at the end. You know, it's constant. Are the cops coming? You know, am I going to be ripped apart from my family? The family's dynamic of is Tony or whomever going to be ripped out of your life? You know, where's the money going to come from? You know, if you go away, you know, all of the things happen to all the characters, and it didn't do that. It wasn't like a mob show that was just all about the mob.
And it also, you know, it highlights the parallels between like corporate America and organized crime. There's a lot of that. Like product placement is all about like the pursuit of things, still leaving you empty at the end of the day, as long as you're not centered around that family.
That's right. That's right. Who can the fans expect to see during Sopranos Con?
Do you want to know them all?
Well, the highlights.
What time?
Yeah. Federico, you're going to be there.
There's
I'll be
one.
there, absolutely.
Okay.
So right now we have about 52 cast members.
Okay.
And they range from being there from the beginning all the way from maybe being in one scene. We have Tony Sirico, Paulie,
Okay.
as you see.
Aw,
We have obviously Federico. We have Dominic Chanese, Uncle Junior, and he's actually going to be singing at both days. We have David Preval, which was a fantastic actor. If you remember Richie Aprile, he's the one with the Manson lamps, right? Isn't that what
Yeah,
they said,
exactly.
the Manson lamps? Vince Ceratola.
Why would you choose anything else? Right? Why would you choose anything
Vince
else?
Curatola, who played Johnny Sack. Drea Di Matteo, who played
Adriana.
Adriana. Geez,
The names are so close.
yeah, the
that's
names,
why.
and then you keep
Were
running
there
down.
any romances that happened on the set?
On the set. Well.
Any lovers on the set? Come on,
I-
tell. We'll
I
call
dated-
page 6.
I dated
Any
a
secrets you want
woman-
to reveal?
I dated a girl that was actually one of the actors that was on the set at the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did it end well?
We were
Messy?
together for a year. Yeah, a little
Okay.
messy, but
A little
it's okay.
messy? All right.
It happens.
We
Wanna
won't
give her
talk
name?
about that
We
one.
won't? All right. Well, hopefully she's better now.
Maybe,
It's been a
hopefully,
while.
yeah.
Okay.
She'll see this video and comment on it.
Yeah. On social media.
Yeah.
Has social media somehow raised the interest in The Sopranos? I mean, social media can go both ways. Sometimes it can keep a certain fan base alive in a different kind of way because of the intimate relationship they feel they have
Right.
with
I
the
mean,
characters.
like we said at the beginning, when Sopranos was at its height, you know, the internet was also at the dawn. So this show didn't really get the treatment that Breaking
Yeah,
Bad,
sure.
Game of Thrones, things like that now get.
Yeah.
And so we had just noticed over the course of time that just a lot of people not just following, but like actually interacting
Yeah.
with these posts and sharing them and just commenting all day. And that's really how this started, is on social media. And without it, we really wouldn't be here.
And think about how unbelievable that is. It's being compared to shows that do have that social media, that things go a lot faster and viral.
It really-
Where Sopranos, you didn't have that, you know.
It
and
really entered the social consciousness, though, of the American public, because
Absolutely.
I think it just was so real and relatable.
Changed
And the
something up.
acting was brilliant, and that's what good writing is, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like after that show, it went into reality TV, which is something else,
Yeah.
right? Which is
Well,
very
people were
different.
watching it on Sunday nights, like Dan was saying. You know, it became a part of the culture.
It did.
You know, every Sunday, and
Yeah.
nothing happened since then
Yeah.
that is the same where that happens. I think the social media aspect of it is bringing new people in. It's keeping people like us who are just nut jobs when it comes to this,
And new fans.
and they
Well,
talk about it
that's
and
the
do it
new
every
fans.
day.
I've noticed-
But it's new fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Young guys, young women coming up.
Any talk about a reboot?
About a reboot.
Yeah, like maybe like new Sopranos with the characters that
I don't think so. I
no?
think they've waited too long. It's just too, I think all of the characters are older.
We
much
still don't know
older
where
now.
Furio is, though.
Yeah, well,
He's right here.
he's in Italy.
Yeah, he's in Italy.
Keep him there for a while. No, but there is a prequel, as you know.
Okay.
Yeah, that has just been shot, and that I don't think there's anyone from the original cast that's in that movie. So
Right.
You can't make better than perfect.
No, you can't.
That's
you
the problem.
can't.
When
Sometimes
something's
it's best
perfect,
to leave it at perfection,
That's right.
Federico?
That's
right?
true.
Yes.
absolutely.
Let everybody know when Sopranos Con is and how they can sign up, and a little bit about the documentary. We have our documentarian behind the scenes, and he's cute too. He should be in front of the camera. Did you want to come say hi? No?
It's okay.
No, I don't want to be on the couch.
That's why he does.
Bobby,
That's why he
no.
shoots behind the camera. Yeah.
Don't worry, you're not the first person to reject me. There's it's okay. And then we're going to get to the quick five because we want to give people a different sense of you
Okay.
because you have a lot of fans out there.
All right.
There's also the documentary people can find out about if we go online and we.
Yeah, so as far as the event, it's November 23rd and 24th at the Meadowlands Expo Center.
Okay.
It's going to be 2 days, Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
Again, over 52 cast members.
Great.
Very experiential. You're going to be
Yeah.
able to see Dr. Melfi's office, and
That's
it's
right,
going to be an
they're
escape
replica
room.
sets.
I
Yep.
think I want to sit
Yes,
in the office.
that would be awesome.
And have
they're
my moment.
That'd be great.
Joe
You want to be my
Fama-
patient?
Why not?
Yeah.
I'll sit on the couch.
Yeah.
A new kind of casting couch.
Yes.
Oh no! Oh no, I could get in trouble for that. But okay, sure, why not?
All right. But there's also a desk.
Yes, which helps, or should help. I don't know.
But yeah, they're building replica sets, and we've seen them,
That's
and they're
great.
unbelievable, down to the sculptures in the window, and it's just amazing.
Bada Bing,
That's right, Bada
Holston's, the
Pine
famous
Barrens.
Pine Barrens. So
Amazing.
very experiential. We're going to have the autographs like Comic-Con, but ours is different. Uncle Junior's going to sing, like I said. Alabama 3 woke up this morning. We're flying them in from London. They sang the song, the opening song to every show. They're flying in, and we have other celebrity actors that are coming. We have celebrities that are just fans of the
You're
show.
doing it right.
We're doing it.
You
November
are doing it
23rd
right.
and 24th.
We'll make sure to have a link.
SopranosCon.com.
But before we let you guys go,
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you the quick five. Yes. Even though we're not in a traditional office setting, what's the most useless talent you have?
Useless talent?
Or are they all useful?
Maybe cleaning the gutters.
I think that's a useful talent.
Yeah, I kind of replaced the gutters, so you don't have to do that anymore.
Okay, that's nice. That's nice. What 3 words best describe you?
I guess strong, honorable, and funny. Maybe.
Talented.
I don't know. I guess talented. You
Yeah?
can throw that in.
All right, we'll throw that in.
So it's for 4.
We'll make it 4 for you.
You know,
How would you define fun?
fun is when you just feel great and you're experiencing it with other people. Something that you're doing that just makes you happy.
And that's in sync. I'm doing research for my book actually
Okay.
with that one, and that's in sync with the definition that fun is interactive. You
Yes,
have it
you-
with other people.
Well, you know what? I thought watching The Sopranos was fun as a fan myself before,
Yeah.
and you always want to kind of have that experience with other people.
I agree. What is the strangest dream you've ever had?
That one I can't even tell you.
Okay. That's probably
It
for
is
the
so
pay-per-view
no,
documentary.
literally, it is so surreal that you will be like, "There's something wrong with this guy."
Want to give us a theme?
It's sexual. I can't tell you.
Okay.
I can't get into it right now.
All right. That's good enough for me. Okay. Who
One day maybe
had
I'll whisper it into your ear.
who had the biggest impact on the person you have become?
My mother and 2 other people. Someone called Jeffrey Holder, who is no longer with us, and another painter by the name of Giovanni Francesco Barbieri called Il Guercino, 17th century Bolognese painter.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us on
Thank you.
Talking Live. Best of luck.
Thank you very much.
With Sopranos Con, and I'm hoping I can attend.
Yes.
I want to be in Dr.
You have to.
Yes, I want to be in the doctor's office. And thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again next week.